This is Optimal Finance Daily, episode 1814, How to Build a Compounding Machine, Part 1, by Barney of theescapeartist.me. And I'm your host and personal finance enthusiast, Diana Merriam. I have a bit of a longer post today, so I'll read the first half and then finish the rest for you tomorrow. So with that, let's dive into part 1 and start optimizing your life. How to Build a Compounding Machine, Part 1, by Barney of theescapeartist.me. Imagine a black box. Your job is to earn and save as much money as you can. You put the cash saved into the black box, into your compounding machine. Once you put the cash inside the box and close the lid, the magic starts to happen. Inside the black box, the most powerful force in the universe gets to work, and your money starts to grow prodigiously. You start with a few £1,000s and end up with hundreds of thousands, maybe millions. If you're a bit lazy, and who isn't, and yet still want to get rich, and who doesn't, then this is the path for you. We want our money to do as much of the work as possible for us. Yes, we're going to have to save hard, but the earlier we get started, the more of the heavy lifting that compound interest can do for us. What powers the machine? The results generated by your compounding machine will be driven by, number 1, the percentage of your after-tax income you put into the box. Number 2, how quickly you get the compounding machine started. Number 3, what asset allocation, that is the mix of assets your compounding machine runs on. Number 4, the fees that are taken out of your box. And number 5, which funds you choose. All of these elements are important, but please note the order I have put them in. The savings rate is vital. At a 50% savings rate, you will go from broke to financially independent in about 18 or 19 years. But at the start of your journey, the most important thing is to just save something, anything, every month. The point is to get into the habit regardless of the amount. Pay yourself first and invest on autopilot. When should you start? Well, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. Kate's compounding machine. To illustrate the power of starting early, let's return to the example of Kate, a bright school leaver who gets a job at age 18. Kate does not go to university to learn how to eat vodka jelly, but instead gets a job, avoids student debt, and is able to start saving after 6 months. Over the next 7 years, our heroine does well and learns stuff at work that actually helps her in life. Things like how to work hard, deal with people, and use basic arithmetic. And she does not spend all her salary on stuff. Instead, she saves, paying herself first every month, setting up a direct debit to stash £167 per month for a total of £15,000 over that period. Kate directs her monthly savings into a low-cost equity index tracker, saving £2,000 per year until age 25, when she stops making contributions into her pension and never saves another penny. Kate does nothing with her pension for the next 40 years, and as a result, Kate gets the same annual return, about 10%, as the S&P 500 has done over the last 100 years or so. At age 65, Kate fires up her laptop and is pleasantly surprised to see that her £15,000 of contributions have grown to just over £1 million. True, inflation means that £1 million isn't worth as much as it used to be, but still not too shabby. Market predictions are a waste of time. It's traditional at this point for someone to start questioning whether 10% annual returns are realistic in the future. We won't be playing that game here. No one has a crystal ball and no one knows what future returns will be. The bear case sounds smarter, perhaps because in most areas of life, smart and skeptical people often do better. But there are no IQ prizes in investing. A 10% a year return from a stock market tracker fund achieved by a person with average intelligence beats a 2% return from a complex multi-asset approach achieved by someone who went to Harvard. Someone should really share that with hedge fund investors. When it comes to predicting future returns, there are two types of people. One, those that don't know, and two, those that don't know they don't know. What we do know is that using the rule of 72, the money inside your compounding machine will double every 9 years at an 8% annual rate of return. And at a 10% rate of return, the money will double every 7 years. The higher the returns, the quicker your money doubles in value. Fueling the machine. You'll hear that on tomorrow's episode. You just listened to part 1 of the post titled How to Build a Compounding Machine by Barney of the escapeartist.me. My favorite point in this article so far is the focus on the percentage of income you're able to invest versus trying to figure out how to increase investment returns. The percentage of your income that you invest is in your locus of control, whereas the return on that investment is something you have absolutely no control over. So it makes sense to focus your efforts on where they will actually have an impact. Think of it this way. Let's say there's a super savvy investor who hits big with a 50% return on his $100 investment. He ends the year with $150. It's a fantastic return. But I will still make out better with my market matching 10% return if I invest $150. I'll end the year with $165. I'm passive about the actual investing part, but I'm very active in the areas of increasing my income and reducing my expenses so that I have more money to invest. This is the aspect of money management that I have the most control over, so I feel that it's worth the majority of my time. I also like that Barney pointed out the second most important thing when it comes to benefiting from the compounding machine is simply the time spent in the machine. Before I knew anything about compound interest, I thought I would start investing once I was more knowledgeable about picking stocks and figuring out how to beat the market. I was definitely overcomplicating investing and didn't realize that time is a much more powerful ingredient for growing wealth than the specific fund I'm invested in. Well, that should do it for today. Have a happy rest of your day and a great weekend. And I'll see you on the Sunday show tomorrow, where we'll finish up this post and where your optimal life awaits.